Episode 162. I set it up perfectly. I just told Swain that Birds was insulting him. He just believed me instantly. Oh, it worked like a charm. Suddenly, people are antagonizing Birds online. The whole thing's in motion. Oh, I love it. Episode 163. It's me. It's Birds. We're on the show together. Oh, and what's this? What's a little rivalry with Swain not here? Oh my God. And Birds just, in his own head, ate it up. Now I've got these two going at it. Episode 164. The two of them together. I'm nowhere to be found. They think, let's form up. This guy Bones, he's tricking us. We're gonna totally beat him. He's gonna get it. Fuck Bones, they said. That's what they said. And meanwhile, the faction wars were occurring, and Future Warbones sweeps the competition with the two of them bickering. Future Warbones takes the victory by tens of points, and they were none the wiser. My entire plan worked all along.
Hey, Bones. Good intro. Wow. I didn't realize you were writing another piece of fan fiction. Crucible Radio fan fiction for the show.
It's my one-man play.
This is awkward.
Yeah, but hey, look, it's good to have all of us back in the same studio.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Congrats on the faction war win.
Hey, thank you.
I mean, I don't know what you did in particular, but hey, good job.
Swain Orbit was going for DFL.
I got lots of points. We got least kills in a Nightfall, most kills in a Nightfall, fastest Nightfall, highest Nightfall score, among other things. Oh, most precision kills in the Crucible. It's not important. Let's just get on with
I don't even know if I
show.
Played a Nightfall.
You did.
No, I must have. Yeah, no, that's right. I got my thing.
You actually did. Should have submitted that score.
Right? I was
Does
a
it
score.
go against us? How would that work?
Negative points for submitting a losing score.
This feels like Harry Potter, where they just dole out random points to random bullshit throughout the week.
Yeah.
Actually, that's how we're doing it. The next time, we're going to appoint a headmaster, and he's going to, on his own accord, he or she, willy-nilly give out plus 10, plus 50, minus 20.
To be honest, I like that system. I really do.
Just based on, good or bad merits in Discord behavior. Nothing really to do with Destiny. I think it will work.
I would love a bot that just kept track of those points, and a headmaster could dole them out, and then anyone could just do a command and
just a Charlemagne bot.
See how many
20 points to Bird's Monarchy.
Yeah. I really like that. Whoever was in charge, I think it was Zia.
Zia, write that down. House points.
Get on that. House points.
Write that down.
We just randomly assign a grandmaster.
Yeah, we'll look into that.
Can I be the house that everyone loves and wants
You're
to be in
Hufflepuff.
and thinks is the best, but actually just kind of fucks everything up and breaks all the rules and ruins everything, goes over where they aren't supposed to, and everyone else is left cleaning up for him, but still they just inexplicably get the most points?
Wow.
I don't know. Don't have any resentment.
Way to shatter my world.
Yeah. Am I actually
Gryffindor?
Hufflepuff?
Am I the bad person?
I feel like somebody who, well, that's interesting. If we look at the GuardianCon window, you're the type of person who makes burgers for people and likes to take care of them and be reliable. But when actually in that situation, you did a lot of slithering around that couch while I was cooking burgers.
Look, really, the only way to determine it is to actually go on Pottermore and take the test. And I've been placed into Slytherin already, so I know that, and I've embraced it. I don't know if you guys have done it.
I'd like to ask you how much of your job you wanted to do on vacation.
Yeah, true.
How many spreadsheets did you throw together? I would like to think 0.
I did my job and wrote some Gator facts.
By the way, I did get a review from my sister of that episode. Didn't care for it. Didn't like it. She listens. She does not play Destiny. She doesn't play video games, period. She listens to every episode of the show. She's listening right now. But she did like the Newlywed Show. She enjoyed that. She enjoyed Mike's narration.
Oh, he was great. Great host.
But the Gator Facts thing, and I think she made a fair point, which is you guys we're sitting in a room. Everyone was like kind of tipsy at least, telling like with non-professional comedians telling jokes that are clearly all inside jokes that only make sense in the context of that weekend, and it went on way too long. And it's like, okay, no, that's fair.
Well, and at the end, we handed a piece of paper to a person who didn't know what it was and made him read it.
Do a good job, buddy.
Land the comedic timing, everything.
Well, hey, right off top here, we got to give a shout out to Universal Orlando's Halloween Horror Nights. They're sponsoring the top of the show, and they're bringing together stories from the world's most notorious creators of horror. Select night, September 14th through November 3rd in Universal Studios, Florida. Don't miss it. Face terrifying haunted houses, including Netflix's Stranger Things and more. Plus, experience sinister scare zones, outrageous live shows, and some exhilarating Universal Studios attraction.
Be very scared of gators.
Yep. It's Orlando, baby. Learn more at orlando.halloweenhorrornights.com/crucible. That's orlando.halloweenhorrornights.com/crucible.
Welcome to Crucible Radio, everyone, the podcast for all things Destiny PvP. And today we're talking about more changes, about PvP, about the evolving Crucible, and wow, like Forsaken it's shockingly close. I think it's less than 3 weeks away.
That's crazy.
That's amazing. I'm very excited. I can't wait to get a bow.
I think I kind of illustrated this last week, but like I am overwhelmed. There is a lot, and like every single time Thursday rolls around and they're like, the TWAB's coming out today. And I'm like, crap. Like, I'm a little scared at like what more is going to be thrown on top. I like feeling very like not knowing what's happening when I'm doing it. Like I want to know as little about Forsaken as possible. So like treading lightly in the TWAB.
You are hosting the wrong show, my friend.
No, actually, I would say I am hosting the perfect show because we just talk about Crucible, and it doesn't involve the story. It doesn't involve like spoily stuff that could end up in the TWAB about the other things like the Dreaming City and the raid. Yeah.
I just like how like Bungie's hype machine previously was like, yeah, we're going to have like the sick trailer. Then we're going to have like a gameplay reveal. And then we're going to like tease some of the new gameplay. And that's going to be exciting. And like they still do that. But it's 2018 now in this crazy mixed up world of ours. And so their real hype strategy is just like have every single TWAB be packed to the gills with gut-wrenchingly shocking news that you can barely keep up with and process before the next round hits you. It's like everything, I can't look away. I can't look away.
There's been people playing Gambit since like early June with E3, I think. Like it's been so long of news that I'm definitely also at that point where like there's this really cool preview of like the 7 bosses and stuff they did on Twitter. It's like a great way to do it. Gives everyone a little clip. And I'm like, I can't watch these. I'm like, I have work to do. What am I doing? This is like the 40th day in a row I've like eagerly looked at Twitter for some Destiny news. It's definitely a lot, but at least there's some stuff that really pertains to us, and not to mention an hour-long PvP demonstration and chat on stream on top of the actual, marketing news. It's been quite a bit of info, and we got more today. We record this on Thursdays, obviously, after this week at Bungie, the TWAB, and wow, blah, 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 no. Gambit, it's got ranking modes. Oh my god! All right, Infamy. It's called. So there's Valor, Glory, and Infamy. All right, There's gear. There's bounties everywhere. There's gonna be like 800 bounties in this game now. I'm glad that's
0 to 60 real quick.
It's like we're going all the way into bounties again.
I can safely say never picked up a bounty. What do I need a bounty for? Like honestly, at this stage, what am I gonna get? Some more legendary shards. What am I gonna get? Some more glimmer.
You know what I really need? 4,000 more gunsmith tools.
Yep.
I did Crucible bounties passively without looking really to do the triumph thing because I think you need to do like 20 or whatever. And I did it by literally just like speed clicking at shacks, didn't read them, didn't switch my load out, and eventually they'd sort of pop up on screen, and eventually I got that moment of triumph. But otherwise, yeah, it was I mean, whatever. Weird time to introduce bounties. I'm sure they'll be heavily coveted in 3 weeks or something like that. But they're on every planet. They're at every vendor. I'm a bounty boy now.
Yeah, it's there. I have to say, like, I'm without having bounties, like, I'm kind of enjoying where Destiny is at right now. Because, like, at this same time before Warmind, I was just, like, bored. Like, the only thing I would do is play Crucible. And purely because I enjoy playing Crucible and not for any type of goal or anything. But now there's, like, enough stuff left to track down that's like, I got to get all the orange glow for my armor because I got a real hideous look coming. I got to get that going. Like, let's go do that. And like, I never got a frigid jackal. Maybe I'll try and grind one of those out. Like, there's just a lot of stuff I never got around to, and I don't really need to go get it. I don't need to have any of these things, but it's just like an arbitrary goal to work around. It's just like nice. Like, I felt like they managed, at least for people at sort of my level of playtime, and probably a lot more because there's a ton of shit I've just never done and probably won't do. Like, I feel like there's plenty of things to do, more than just like the homework of your weeklies, whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot in terms of what we'll be doing on just checking in and looking at the screens and like, well, what can I accomplish? It's going to be, I mean, if you're burning through all the content, that will be an accomplishment in itself.
My favorite thing that's coming to Forsaken is the fact that they're going to like remove all of those like really tedious weekly things from like your milestone checker when you like go to orbit. So it'll literally just be only stuff that's like moving you forward through the story or super important like monthly events or what have you, because checking that every week like just kind of made it seem like I wasn't doing something like on a week that like, hey, maybe I didn't raid this week. And it was like, I don't want that just like sitting there if I do everything else.
Yeah, like all compliments to how much I've rated in D2. I really like them and I've rated a lot. It's definitely not something that I want as like that primary, like, this is what you should be doing, because that's like that's a whole event. That's our whole evening. That's getting 5 other people. You know, it doesn't need to be at the top of your to-do list. So I like the way that they're describing it as like, you go look at that destination and you see what you can do there. You can see what's up on Nessus, or you can go look at Crucible and there it is. It's going to clean it up and not make you feel like you haven't done the one important thing if you haven't raided this week, because maybe I'll raid 3 times one week, but not at all one week. It's a good system.
I will say the thing I am most excited for, and like I can feel it like bubbling to the surface because it kind of like it fits the stuff I like all about. Like I don't know how to best describe this. It feels like it's perfect Destiny, and that's Gambit, and I can't wait for it. Like, it's so exciting that it's coming, that like we're gonna get this mix of Destiny and like from PvP and PvE standpoints. And I didn't even really think about it for a little while, but like truly Gambit might be the most like esports worthy part of Destiny, to be honest, because it like just straight up shows you a big chunk of Destiny that's like removed from PvP, and that's like other like alien enemies, and you just throw them in there, and then every once in a while a guy comes through and you fight, and it's I don't know. I think I'm going to try and be really good at that.
Yeah, the number one thing I want to see in Gambit, really, not that I don't think it'll be enjoyable if I'm right or wrong about this, but like how varied is the experience in terms of the PvE guys? Because like, you know, they come out of doors, they walk at you, they have
Didn't they say
X
there was
amount of
like
moves.
a decent amount of maps to launch?
Yeah, and quite a bit of different like variations of enemies and stuff. But you know, even then, it's like I learned the patterns and stuff. Like, for example, doing the Leviathan. My role in the Leviathan in my group is always to be in the throne room, covering ads with Cable, while 4 other guys do the symbols and punch scions. Right when I get teleported and I go right back in, I take the same route. I run up against this left ledge. I look at the center door. We team shot a phalanx right there. I turn left, I reload, and I single out a phalanx that just came out of that door. And I do that like 3 times a raid, and this is like, okay, but like, that's just because I've played it 40 times, but I want to play Gambit 40 times. So I'm just thinking like, how can they make it? And I don't think that it's impossible, but how can they make it so that we're not just like memorizing those motions and those super hyper efficient PvE players aren't just sort of like, waiting by the door to punch a guy because they're already cleared out that group of enemies on the other side. That's all I want to see.
I will say this before we get to Infamy, which is an awesome part of Gambit. There's a lot of PvP players that I've watched play PvE and just be absolute garbage at it. Like, like really good PvP players. And it's like, this is the same game guy. Like, you should be good at this part too. Like, if you're good at PvP. So I'm excited for it because to me, it might even the playing field a little bit for some players.
Yeah. You're telling me that I shouldn't use Dire Promise, Hero's Burden, and Balagan in PvE? But the time to kill on them is just unmatched. It's just unmatched.
Dire Promise isn't the worst PvE hand cannon. It's got that large mag.
Give me a DFA.
Yeah, the mix and match of loadouts will definitely keep it fresh too. Like, you cannot go in with your super try hard trials loadout, and you shouldn't go in with your, Skyburner Zoth and whatever raid gear you're used to using, because you might get smoked by a guardian with a better gun. So it'll be interesting.
Speaking of keeping it fresh, they are adding a ranking system to this. Infamy.
So all right, so what's the deal? How's this one different? They've got each of the levels divided into 3 tiers, so you make more incremental progress. Cool. You don't lose points for losing matches. You just earn fewer. And you get Infamy. You get unique Gambit weapons and armor.
Yeah. So
seems all right.
It feels like Valor to me.
Yeah, it's a progression system, but that's cool. I like seeing those little symbols get more detailed. That's like my favorite shit. That little icon piece become more beautiful.
Well, they're pretty solid icons. I have to say, I'm very pleased that they decided to go to like a tiered sort of rank reward system for gear instead of RNG, because I just like it better. Like, I didn't grind for any of the escalation protocol weapons because I did it a couple times and it was just like, all right, I'm hearing reports that some people like, oh, hey, somebody just got the shotgun. That's cool. And then I read online like, oh, I've done 80 clears and I still haven't gotten it. It's like, well, the odds are good. I'm probably going to fall into that category. And even if I didn't but I would, I like a grind rank. I like to know that I can just keep chipping away at it and I'm inching closer to a known destination instead of just like, oh, well, you're just going to have to grind the Nightfall 300 times if you want that sniper. And I do want that sniper.
Yeah, I don't want to just like veer into random roll panic, but like I hope I can get a chest piece from Gambit with the gear or the perk I want or whatever. And in that case, how do I get more or how do I get a different one? I don't know, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Do we know how random rolls are working on armor?
No.
No, they didn't go into it that detailed as far as what will be on the armor.
But we will have random rolls on armor, or is it just random rolls on weapons?
There's different perks on armor. I don't know if it's random. I don't know, and I'm scared about it.
Figure it out. Well, we've got plenty of time. Hey, can we talk just like for a minute about Iron Banner? Because I got the new Iron Banner this week.
Yeah.
It's not light level enabled, but I've been playing it a fair amount. And I've got some observations.
Yeah? Do you?
I do. First is, I forget, I think Bones, you must have posted it, but some tweet that somebody posted that's like, it was basically like getting a chance to play Crucible with absolutely no matchmaking versus Crucible with Bungie's desired matchmaking. And I gotta tell you, I prefer the first. I've not had terribly sweaty matches. I felt like it's been pretty fairly 50-50 playing Banner. The big part is the triple cap.
Yeah, the lockout.
The lockout. And I got my own personal take, and maybe it plays different at different skill levels, but I think what people figured out very quickly is that when you get locked out, you should run and hide and not even try and fight. Some people jump off the side. I don't think that's fun to do, so I don't do it, but I get it. It's, play to win, all that. I guess here's my thoughts on it, right? If the enemy team gets a lockout quickly, then they were probably going to win anyways, right? Like they're going to stomp you and they're going to do it very quickly with the power of lockout, and you will probably get locked out again and again and again. Like if it's the kind of thing where it's just like a decisive move that they made, like you didn't even like trade B once before they triple capped, then it probably is not going to change the outcome of the game. And I think a lot of people are feeling friction at that. I think kind of thinking about it though, like I've played some matches this week. It's my anecdotal experience. I believe that if you're playing an evenly matched team, then a lockout is not a bad thing. Like there have been a number of matches, like more than 3, where we were playing evenly matched. I was playing solo queue, and it was mostly solo queue, which probably makes a difference. And we were down, the enemy team gets the lockout, but me and my teammates just psychically communicated and started off ready to cap 2 zones and brought it back from there. Like coming back from a triple cap with a clean board, I feel is easier than coming back from a triple cap when you got to go cap all 3 of them out from under the team, especially if you're not playing in a coordinated fire team. I think it's a thing that like it helps to get locked out more than it hurts if you're evenly matched. Like it's not great because they're getting triple points, but it does reset the board, and that's not nothing. And like you can use that to your advantage if you're not so completely outclassed that you were going to lose anyways. I don't know, just my opinion. That's what I believe.
Yeah, it's a little funky without like a incentive to do something when you're locked. And like let's face it, like you have to sort of take into account that like few Iron Banner games will be this perfect balance of matchmaking, because even the intended matchmaking does not really like put that together very often. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a very tweakable thing. It's the first time we've done it. Happy to have it tested out, the Iron Banner, where like I don't really care about the gear. Yes, if there's a new set in Forsaken, like I want to like grind that shit and like not have it be frustrating, but like
that simply right there is like the biggest thing, because I'm probably not going to play much Iron Banner this week simply because I got all the gear that I wanted, and I don't desire going into that playlist right now. Like I will just go play quick play if I want my my fun right now. Plus I think like the respawn timers, don't they feel a little bit longer than
they are? Yeah.
So like that, I feel like that alone, the respawn timers, is what's contributing to a lot of like the quick play. Like, oh, I'm gonna get like 8 kills in a row right here because they're just spawning right next to you as you're killing people. So that is definitely a factor in probably what people are feeling like is a little bit less fun in that playlist, the Iron Banner playlist.
No, that's definitely something. Can we all agree that the fires instead of the capture points, fun? Yeah, it's fun. There's fire and a wolf noise. It's great.
That's very cool.
I love it.
Just like I think there's a lot of little tweaks. I think I like the effect. I like the howls. Like if you get a 3 lock, it should be like this cool sound effect. And I don't know, maybe like everyone on the team that just 3 capped gets a grenade, like immediately recharge or like, or something, just something special. Like, there's always like fun stuff they put on the Guardians, like the Owl Sector sparkly stuff. Or like the faction rally, like give everyone this like overshield thing or some sort of like power up and stuff and have it last for 5 seconds, so like you 3 cap and in that second you just like smoke the team in that last team fight. And then the respawn timers happen, everyone's back up and we're kind of back into it, as opposed to like, all right, so for 20 seconds we should not engage. that sort of thing. Like there's just tons of little things. And I like playing up that sort of excitement because, you know, to be honest, Iron Banner in D2 so far looks like quick play.
Yeah.
Now that there's fire, there's like one way to determine the difference. Otherwise, it looks like quick play. And so I'm fine with just little tweaks to set it up. Make it more fun. Make it more exciting. Make it like an event, you know? Make the tower look different.
I saw someone say it would have been nice to have this in the labs, like the Crucible labs, to kind of get a feel. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's such a big like playlist, like 6v6 is tough to get people into labs matches.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
People would have tried it out if it was there.
I was really sad trying to play the Crucible Labs mode, and I tried multiple times a day, and just like could not get a match.
Yeah, no,
any of the times.
No match.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I want to try the thing. Just like literally I'll wait as long as it takes, but like I got the error message that just says, sorry, buddy, it's not happening. Buddy, I'm sorry.
You've been trying way too long.
Yep.
Speaking of Crucible Labs, we're going to have like a little interesting playlist coming up next week.
What's it? Scorch?
Scorched.
Scorched.
Everyone gets a Scorch cannon, and that's it.
We're scorching.
Can you put the Scorch cannon down? That's what I want to know.
No.
No, you're just stuck with a Scorch
glued to your hands.
Have we ever had, even like in D1, a PvP Scorch experience?
I don't think so.
I don't think I've ever shot another Guardian with it.
We have no idea. Yeah, it might be one.
Maybe it's two. They feel kind of hard to aim. Like when you're like jumping around.
And there's some major, travel time and the third person perspective. I don't know if it like is cool. I'm sure it's just silly, but if it is cool, then I'm thinking a mode where like you get one. You know, that's what should happen in Iron Banner. You get the three tap, and then like a Scorch cannon pops up, and only the team with the advantage can pick it up. And yeah, maybe one guy hogs it, but like same with power ammo right now. That'd be cool. Then you have to take down the guy with the Scorch cannon.
I would love if one of those like the things from the raid, from the dog room, like the laser cannon,
the beam.
Yeah, give me that. Like have that
Instant
drop
kill.
when we 3-cap someone.
I want to do the charge from Spire of Stars where you have to play hot potato, and the goal is to get it in the other team's hand when it does explode. So you have to throw it at them, and they catch it, and they can't not catch it, but then they'll blow up if they don't get rid of it fast enough. Write this down, Bungie.
Well, we have a little bit more of the TWAB to talk about, and I have a feeling it's going to get a little intense. But first, let's have a word from our sponsor this week, and that is Audible.
Audible.
That's audiobooks.
Audible.
For your ears. Audiobooks are a great sidekick for summer activities like hiking, running, road tripping, enjoying downtime outdoors, and more, like running, especially running. I've been doing a lot of running.
Swain and I are working our asses off. We need some books.
And with the largest selection of audiobooks on the planet, Audible lets you fill your summer with stories like, Thrawn Alliances. It's a little Star Wars book I just listened to. I also listened to The Miracle Morning for the second time because I own it now through Audible. And what about you guys? You guys listen to anything?
Yeah, I got a couple. I got A Colony in a Nation by Chris Hayes. Good one, like that guy. You must have recommended this one, Swain. This is called Endure, Mind, Body, and the Curiously Elastic Limits of Human Performance.
That sounds like me.
That sounds like a Swain book.
I actually had a couple credits to cash in, and I just grabbed a few. And I got Gone Girl, which I haven't even seen the movie for. Heard it's really good.
The book is good. Yeah, the book's good.
And The Hobbit. You know, maybe I'll get around.
Classic.
Yeah, and I've actually never finished reading The Hobbit when I was little. It was a little over my head, so it'd be like a true first experience for me.
Well, as an Audible member, you'll get a credit every month, good for any audiobook, regardless of price. And unused credits roll over to the next month. So if you forget a month, you got 2. And if you don't like your audiobook, you can exchange it, no questions asked. Plus, your books are yours to keep. Go back and re-listen anytime, like me with the Miracle Morning. And even if you cancel your membership, you can still go back, listen to books. Better yet, you can switch seamlessly between devices. So if you're listening in your car or from a tablet or at home on your Amazon Echo, you can just pick up right where you left off.
So hey, start a 30-day trial and your first audiobook is free. All you have to do is go to audible.com/crucible or text Crucible to 500-500. That's audible, audible.com/crucible, CRUCIBLE. Wow, we got some little symmetry there. Sounds good. Or text Crucible to 500-500. You can do it with audiobooks.
It's free. All right. I'm going to read something that was in the TWAB this week. From the one and only Kevin Yanis. I'm glad to have the chance to talk to you all about Crucible ranks going forward. This past season of gameplay has taught us a lot about what has worked well and where we can do better. As we kick off the next season, we're excited to give players new ranks to earn. Let's dive right into the goals we had for designing the Crucible rank system in Season 4 and the changes that they generated. All right, number 1, make earning a high rank and glory not feel like your second job. So they tweak the tune so you're biased more towards climbing. The weekly award's been fixed, double its gains. Recognize the achievements of players who did not receive their weekly awards in Season 3. Okay, whatever. You get bonus rank points. Goal, encourage more players to strive for higher glory ranks. So little quality of life stuff. Radars turned back on. That's something. Mm-hmm. Control and Clash are in the comp playlist. Woo! That's something. Lost streaks are gone. And good fucking riddance. And here we go. Goal, remove the time pressures associated with glory ranks. Interesting. Pinnacle Crucible rewards are now awarded via quests. Some of these quests will ask you to engage with Valor or Glory ranks. These quests will not go away at the end of the season. Huh? Okay, sure. Redrix's Claymore is being retired in Season 4. Yeah, okay, right. It's the Season 3 thing. Players who already earned the weapon will still be able to equip and use it. Obviously, players will be unable to earn Redrix's Claymore beyond Season 3. Okay, that's what we thought. Shaxx will offer a new quest that players can complete to earn Redrix's Broadsword, a companion weapon to Redrix's Claymore. Features a similar talent arrangement, but it does not share the lore and capital T triumphs associated with Redrix's Claymore. Once you've earned the weapon, random roll versions of Redrix's Broadsword will start dropping from Crucible engrams. Each drop will have the fixed Outlaw and Desperado combination. Each drop will also have randomized barrels, magazines, and masterwork perks. We've also heard confirmed that this is same pulse rifle, same archetype, same slot. Players who earned the Claymore in Season 3 will receive additional bonuses. Owners of Redrix's Claymore will be granted exclusive emblem, and Claymore owners will be eligible for Broadsword from the very start of the season. And then they're adding a new reward via a quest in Season 4. So just to make sure we're all on the same page here. You can't get Claymore after Season 3, but you can get a gun that is very, very similar, has the same magic sauce, except it's also got random rolls on it, barrels, magazines, masterwork perks. You don't need to, there's a quest you have to do to get it if you didn't get the Claymore. And it may engage with ranks and it may not. And this is a bit of a surprise, fair to say. So what I thought was interesting was that I heard a variety of opinions on this right when it first came out. And I don't think I necessarily disagree with any of them. But I think even in our group, even in our conversation, people had very split feelings on this. And this is just like a weird piece of news to find out at this point in the season. So I think we can kind of talk through it because there's some implications to this. But I'm curious, what you guys, when you first heard this news, just like gut level, no reasoning or anything, but just gut level. What was your reaction? What'd you feel gut level when you heard this?
Well, my first thought was that, like, this is really a good thing, is that if I know players that are the type to grind out Claymore, is that they love emblems. And they'll be so happy about that emblem they get that will make it different. No, in all seriousness, my gut response was, that's not what exclusive to season 3 really means. I know you say that the Claymore is, and there's another one with a different sword name, but that's not what was implied, and that's not really what got people hyped about it.
Bones, this new weapon doesn't share the lore and triumphs associated with Claymore.
It sure as fuck doesn't. I'm gonna say, I'll put my rank out there right away, because I think I'm siding on the players that have it, I guess, that I assume a lot of them are feeling. I don't have it. As of this recording, I'm at 1,267 glory points. I've got 900 to go.
How many glory points you have? Yeah.
I do. And guess what? I went up 10 in like 12 games last night. So I don't have it. And I'm not arguing that, well, I fucking worked for it, so everyone else should get it. I don't have it, so I can't take that stance on it. I can be in a very weird spot where, with 2 weeks left to go, I'm sitting here like, what? Do I do it? Do I put myself through a very, very, very frustrating grind to get that lore and triumph, or do I just wait and save myself the like pain and very possible disappointment to just eventually have a gun that functions as well as Claymore functions? Random rolls. Yeah, maybe it's better. Maybe it's worse. I don't know. The whole point being is that it's a high impact pulse that gets this crazy nice perk combo. It's going to be the same, all intents and purposes. That's a weird spot to be in. And like I said, it was not really how the gun was hyped up. And it's not what made people really excited for comp in the first place, when we finally had this concept of ranks coming to Destiny for the first time. It's a weird vibe, to say the least. It's a weird vibe.
Swain, what about you?
My first gut reaction was like, come on, why can't this have been handled a little bit easier to like make it seem like I'm not a shill for the way I react? to be very frank about it. But also I was just kind of like, I don't know. I didn't think, obviously, like I thought it through afterwards, but like I was just like, oh, there's going to be another gun. And I honestly thought it can't possibly be the same. Like it can't be the same gun. Because
it's gonna have
then what's the point?
Probably.
What's the point?
And Swain, it does not share the lore or the triumphs associated with Regix's Claymore. So
I agree.
Neither lore, no triumphs.
That was later confirmed after this post, and I was like, okay, cool. So it's like a Sturm Drang thing, or like a, I don't know. You eventually get the whole loadout, and it's the same archetype, same thing. That was like weird. I definitely agree.
But the one thing I did think was that when the broadsword comes, it's hopefully going to be like, it's going to be different enough because of random rolls and masterwork perks and all that, to the point where they're like, it's going to be maybe a better gun. Like I hope it's a better gun, so that people are like, okay, well, I've gotten this better gun now. Like, it's more available. Like, this cool perk set is not left to a small little area. And that's just, like, that's not me trying to be selfish. That's more so me being like, I want to play with that cool perk set. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to be one of the 9,000 or whatever it was people that actually got it. Like, that's such a low number compared to the Destiny population. Like, that is drastically low. And to never see that perk combination ever again, like, that seems like kind of a loss for the Crucible, to be honest. Like, even if it was like on a different archetype, or like, I would love to see that per combination on something else.
Yeah.
And that's just, like I said, that's a little bit selfish, and I understand that. But when I went into comp, like I recently said on this podcast, I was like, maybe I'll try my Redrix. I kind of said it half-heartedly, like, yeah, I'm gonna like maybe give it a go. Oh, I did, and it sucked. And me and the way I weigh my time was, I was like, this isn't worth it to me. Like, I don't have a lot of time in the game. Definitely do not have enough time to hit the rank it requires. I'm never going to see this gun. And I have pretty much like made peace with that at this point. Like, if I had started from the beginning and tried really hard, and maybe if I was like on PS4 instead of PC, like maybe I'll have a better time. But I'm never going to have it. And to be honest, like, I'm a little happy that I might get a version of it. Maybe next season, the Luna's Howl will be like, it won't be replaced with a similar version after the season. Like, maybe they'll take this feedback and say, okay, let's not do that again. Let's just stick to maybe like something that's a little bit like a decent amount different. So that we don't get this. The other part of it is it being tied to a quest. Maybe the quests will be really hard. Like, do you remember the mountaintop quest from Destiny 1 that unlocked Crucible bounties?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it took forever. Yeah. It was literally a mountaintop. Like, to get that thing done, it took weeks. It took a lot of kills. It took a lot of different investment, especially for people that, like, at the very beginning of that drop, they were just like, I don't want to be doing Crucible. I want to be doing all this other stuff. So it was almost like a month or so before, like, a lot of people ended up getting into Crucible bounties. Maybe it'll be like that. Maybe it'll be an intense grind similar to the amount of time invested in something like a Redrix. So maybe that'll make it worth it. And the fact that, like, people that had the Redrix before will have this like cool new thing drop right away seems nice to me. Like, seems nice that they'll have that huge leg up. They won't have to do this crazy long quest, hopefully.
Yeah, I guess a bunch of things popped into my head when I first read this. Like, the first is like, yeah, kind of what you were talking about, Swain. The first was like, okay, clearly Bungie spent a bunch of time and invested in like coming up with a new gun mechanic, and they did not get their money's worth out of this mechanic, right? Like, I think their vision, because they were targeting 40% of players getting Redrix. And I think they kind of expected that like people would get it throughout the season, like almost half of players would get it. And this would be the season of Redrix, right? This is when we'd all be procking Outlaw Desperado, and we'd learn all the good Desperado spots on the map, and everyone would have their moment of going, oh my God, it's so overpowered. I'm so sick of this, whatever. And you'd get it. You'd figure out the best shader to put on it. You would... there'd be an angry post on Reddit about how every time I'm getting killed, it's always by the same gun, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's part of how Bungie gets their mileage out of it. And they're like, yep, we did not get that out of this. There's like, we put this thing in the game, and like basically nobody got to experience it firsthand except for,
to be honest, I would love that. Like, every month, every season, like a new thing was like a terror in the Crucible, and it was really hard to get. And the part of it is like, yes, this was really hard to get, but because it was so hard to get, it was so rare to run into, and therefore it wasn't a problem.
I don't even know if I ever got killed by a Redrix, like, in all my Crucible playing. So like my first thing was like,
Bones
maybe like
has in the past week.
Yeah, right. Like, so yeah, maybe a little cynical, kind of like, this is clearly the business decision. They spent XXXXX dollars developing this gun, and they're going to get their money's worth out of it one way or another, which includes making sure it's available enough and good enough that everyone hates it and we all move on. It's like, that was the first thought I had. But then the second thought I had was hearing people who are genuinely upset about it and going like, you know, like, oh, it's not fair. I worked so hard to get it. Now everyone gets it. And like my initial gut reaction, which is like kind of an ugly thought that popped into my head, was just like, well, you just get off on like knowing other people don't get a thing, right? Like you only enjoy it if you know other people don't have it. And I think that was my gut level reaction. And then the more I kind of talked about it and listened to people talking about it, I realized like, oh, that's not what it is, right? Like hearing like Fallout talk about his grind to get this gun and like playing a lot of very tense, largely uncomfortable matches in order to get this thing, and finally getting to the point where he got it, and now knowing that he didn't have to do that. Like that is not something that requires denying it from anyone else. It's just purely like, you know, I put in all this work to get this thing because I thought this was my only chance. And I probably would have spent my time otherwise, but put it there. And like, I compare, like, it took me a while to get outside my own head. My point of view on this is just like, look, I don't play this game for sense of accomplishment. Like I don't, I do it because I like the static loop of running around in the Crucible. That's just me. Like that's different people get different things out of this game. And trying to like make sense out of somebody who is upset that this thing that used to be super rare is now cheap is, I kind of had to get outside of my head a little bit on that. And that was an adjustment. Like, I think we can all agree, like, I'm happy that I'm going to get one, and it's going to be just like grinding out a quest or whatever. And then I get to experience this mechanic, and we get to talk about it on the show, and we get to say like, oh, well, I've found that, you know, if you're going up 2v3, then you should actually try and kill both of them before you reload, because you're going to need that less. Like, I'm looking forward to getting to play it and getting to experience this mechanic, and like the rules of this game world that say you must do this XYZ thing before you get to just play that thing don't seem that important to me. But even that being said, like, this kind of sucks, right? It's kind of cheap. Like, this thing's...
I have a question. This is confusing me. It was clarified on Twitter that Pinnacle Crucible rewards will now be achieved in quests. And that's good because it takes the pressure off, like they said, the time constraint. You know, like you can do the quests at a leisurely pace. Who knows what's required? They will be a grind. And we use the word grind really liberally to mean like playing hard for something, but like, I don't know, it's going to be a grind. And the mountaintop was a grind. Playing in comp right now is a fucking battle to do well. You know, like it's not just like eventually you're going to get enough kills. But if Pinnacle Crucible awards are coming from quests, why get a high rank?
Yeah. I mean, what are the ranks in other games reward you outside of skins or like an emblem thingy that moves instead of is static?
Well, Overwatch? I mean, I guess they would be the most appealing things to get. But if the most appealing things is clearly the guns in Destiny, I mean, like I said, sorry, but like no, like emblems are not the most appealing.
No.
Challenge. You know,
I'm not
so
disagreeing
it's like,
there.
Right? Yeah, and I think like there are games where it's like you're right. That there are games where the what are they called? Cosmetics stuff truly are the fucking best part. Like look at Fortnite, but in Destiny, it's not. It's the weapons. It's like it's like having that powerful tool to go enact your power fantasy. And if those come from quests, who's gonna get to rank 5?
Well, so I mean, like, hold on, like, so to be fair, like, there are more rewards for getting to all the different ranks in both Valor and Glory than just Redrix, right? Like, there's something at every level. But I mean, like, look at the dollar in the Overwatch chart. Look at Overwatch, right? Like, you don't get anything special from hitting Grandmaster except hitting Grandmaster. And like, maybe that's a good thing, right? Like, if you can, because some players are just like not capable without radically transforming their gameplay of climbing to a certain level maybe like you can let hitting a rank be its own reward and just show off the number, right? Like that's traditionally been a lot of what ranked is, right? You just show off the number and like, okay, maybe there's some cosmetic or something, but you don't have to treat it as like, I don't want to play comp. It's very stressful. I don't like the game mode, whatever. And I get freaked out every time I lose because it's probably going to like be a loss streak and I'll end up even lower than when I started. And that sort of decision making is a given for a comp playlist with, you know, like a skill rank or, you know, grind rank or whatever. But when you also add in, and I have to get to this point to get this gun, otherwise why would I play it? Maybe that doesn't make sense anymore, you know? Like maybe it should be meaningless and you should be happy chilling out at 300 instead of having a whole ecosystem of like account recoveries grinding people up because they simply must hit this one particular point.
There's a part of it where like you need to be able to play, like comp needs to be able to put you in a ladder with people that you should be playing. And that's part of the fun of it. Like the constant challenge of you are going up against someone that is just as good as you. And it is a hard battle and there's nothing like stompy about it. Like you are really going to work hard for this and you are going to hopefully win and get better each time and slowly but surely move up your ranks. But when you're running into people that are well outside of your skill level, that's not fun anymore. Like that.
No.
It breaks the entire concept. It really does.
Yeah.
And that's honestly been the
but that's like other games you're not going to run into like Seagull.
And that's what's like
a
really
gold player.
That's just like I can't get my head through this, and like it's partially my fault for like we got to adjust expectations. I think like probably in the spring of this year, maybe we were like ranked is coming. We'll finally be able to like see how we really match up. Like we'll have that number and that will determine our skill. And that's like not true at all with how this system works. There's nothing about that number that really means anything.
Yeah.
A grind from the start to where you like should be.
It is.
Instead
and then
of like
on top
placement
of
matches and you end up in your rank that it should kind of be near. And then you slowly but surely work your way up towards higher ranks, which a lot of
well, so that's it, right? Like everyone who I've talked to who's been into the Overwatch grind is not like they don't have an arbitrary goal that's the same, right? Like, yeah, okay, like maybe diamond looms is like that's the spot you want to hit. But I've seen people have just as much fun going from gold to diamond as I've seen them going bronze to gold, because it's just a bit like that's the idea with the comp playlist, that there's a place for every skill level at the comp playlist, and the important thing is not getting to a certain point. It's about your relative movement, and you have placement matches to make sure that you're at your current skill level. And so if you go up, you know it's because you improved and not because, I mean, do you see what I'm getting at? Like,
there's
a lot for the wrong reasons.
It's comp for the wrong reasons, and that I get it. Like if I can, all right, like I'll put the Overwatch part out of my mind. It's not about placing it. It's not about being platinum, or something like that. Like being like instantly recognized for my skill level the second I step in. It is about this grind, but even then, the grind is lost. Because it should be a grind against players who are grinding at your same level. Eventually, the best players will get further. Like if it's a race or what's a race where not a lot of people finish? Like one of those Tough Mudder things. Like there should be a select few of elite athletes finishing, and maybe there's some poor son of a bitch just like actually finishing at the last place and he did it and stuff like that. Fine, like he'll get more points, but like. I don't know, like, and not to be a stupid venter, but like that's not possible, because if it takes too long to queue, it puts you in with someone who's already done the grind. It puts you with the guy who's on his second lap, which doesn't make sense. And if there's not one person to fill and it's 7 out of 8, it just tells you, sorry, error, start again. So if the error can happen, or it'll fill with a really good player, that doesn't make any sense. And right now, the most efficient which is hard to do, really. The most efficient grind in comp is to wait until you're not playing against a team of 4. And if that doesn't tell you everything about the concept of like playing against evenly matched opponents to determine your true skill, then like, I don't know what else. And then the teams we match of 4 are rocking an emblem of a account that they're borrowing to help. Like, sorry, but that's just the way it is on PC. And it's like, it's just breaking my brain about like, I don't know what to really do in here. And luckily the Claymore has been appealing enough to people to do it, but it's not find your best skill. It's get to this point and stop. And then just be done. And then the more the people do that, the more people stop, or the more people that hit that wall because of all those weird little things that don't feel as true as they should, like matching good players on your first game, they stop then, and people stop. And it's a weird, I don't know. And there's a lot of good things happening here. Radar back. I've been a champion of that a long time, but no, I'm great. I'm happy with that. Radar's coming back. The weapon system will make everyone more excited to test anything, regardless of what mode it is. And Trials is canceled. So the true grind your ass off thing is now comp. That's great. There's a lot of things that will make this playlist healthier. But in terms of its goals, I'm so confused. And I think it's really just Destiny's a looter shooter grindy game. And that ranked is a weird word to apply to it when there's just not a better word to describe it, if that makes sense.
I mean, I think a part of it is we might not be doing the best service to our listeners, like really coming from a PC point of view. Like, it's just fact that the PC
it's worse, and I'll admit I'm choosing to play on the absolute most difficult aspect of 3 of very, very difficult grinds. I can fully own up to that. And it was funny. A couple people said that a silver lining for PC is that like now that there's the gun that's just the same, is that like Claymore just lost a lot of value on eBay. so technically it could get better as of today, and I'll only find out by still playing comps. But no, that's absolutely fair. I'm from a PC perspective, it's brutal, but I haven't heard a lot of people going like, no, it's much better over here.
Yeah,
I feel like it's quicker over on like
it's
PS4.
Probably less painful.
I mean, it's the same problems. It's a matter of degree. I mean, like,
yes.
Look, I respect Bungie trying to do something new with a comp playlist. Like, I'm happy there's ranked in the game, period. That's cool. And like, I'm happy that they wanted to figure out something new and try and break some new ground, and that it's going to be it's probably not going to be perfect at first. It's probably going to take a couple seasons to dial in. And like, for sure, 3 seasons from now, we're going to be going like, you know, comp is actually pretty fun. Like, I'm really enjoying comp right now. Like, that's just how these things go. And like, I can wait for it. But I'm kind of disappointed, I guess, right? Like,
I'm disappointed because like when we heard comp, because like I enjoyed the carrot on the stick of Overwatch, and I was kind of hoping that I would be able to like just like hop on over here back to Destiny and like enjoy that same type of grind here, but it's just not there. But knowing like the guys there, like Kevin and all those, and like Lars and all that, like they're gonna find it. They're gonna find the right area for where this should be. And like you said, it's not gonna happen quick. And like we're already seeing these drastic changes from one season to the next. So that's good. Like keep changing things until it's right.
Yeah, of course.
Gotta suck though. Gotta be a
it
bad
won't be here for
right
the first
now.
season. You can tell other people, I was there from the beginning.
Yeah,
where we had to walk both ways uphill in the snow to get a Redrix.
Like, I just like this Redrix broadsword thing just kind of seems like an unforced error, you know? Like, couldn't you have said like, all right, we're gonna spend a season putting Outlaw and Desperado, but put it on different guns. Like, we're gonna have a scout rifle with Outlaw and Desperado, and it's going to be dope. It's the same idea. It'll never be Redrick's, but to like have a gun that is, or just like a different archetype or something. Like I imagine it took quite a bit of work to figure out what archetype to use and how to tune it and how much boost to get. Like, oh, probably that's not feasible. And, you know, they didn't want to just sit on it for a whole season. But, yeah, I don't know. Seems a little tone deaf.
It's just, I don't know. I think we just need a new word than ranked. For me, I'm gonna have to start just calling it comp. It's the comp grind. And a grind to me is playing it enough until you get the thing. It is not about defeating or being consistently good, because you don't have to be consistently good in quick play to hit legend. It's just play it. Gambit is the same way. You just get less points for losing. That's a grind to me. And comp is kind of a grind. And I don't know. Trials was a thing that didn't feel necessarily grindy. It felt like this nice punch of accomplishment. And I don't know. I like that feeling, and that's why I've been playing comp. And I don't know. This
is all going to be on the back burner, like literally like 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
We had to record tonight, folks. This had to happen. If God damn it, if they say something on Saturday and it's just like, I'll be editing into just a bunch of like, throughout the last half an hour, that will just be me going like, beep. Okay, sorry. Nope. Take that back. They said something else. Beep. Okay, continue. And just put that in randomly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, if nothing else, this episode's going to come out on Monday, and everyone is going to have found their peace with this one way or another. Everyone will be moved on, and you'll just listen to three kind of stressed out sounding dudes talking about a thing that two of them did not participate in very much.
Birds, I like what you said off mic earlier today, where you said, none of us are in a position to say it's just a game based on how much effort we put into this. Even if our efforts are for different reasons to different degrees in different areas of the game, it's true that, like, you know, we all three of us care. And that did make me feel better, because I did feel earlier today that it was just like a matter of like, well, if it's stupid, don't give a shit. And it's like, I don't know. I give a shit, and I don't know why. And I'm never going to know why, but I do. So I feel a little better even talking this out.
The thing that I can't ever forget, and honestly, I wish I could, is that it's all made up, right? Like the rules of the comp playlist were designed by some dudes. We know several of them, right? Like this did not come down on tablets from the mountain.
Kelly
this was just an arbitrary thing that was
trouble
invented.
Watching like movies and stuff sometimes, because she'll be like, "This is all fake." That's how I feel.
It.
Oh, dude, live in LA. Be friends with a bunch of industry people. Everything's ruined. I'm jaded. Everything sucks.
No, that's a great way to get through like particularly scary movies. Is just go like, they're just on a soundstage right now. There's some guy at the craft services table pigging out in the background. It's not real.
Yeah, but literally like 15 feet away from this set is someone eating a pretzel.
Yep. So like, you know, I can't ever forget that. And ultimately it's like, you know, some dude just made this whole thing up. There are things that they made that I don't particularly care for. There are some things that they made that I find are cool, and I want them. And it's like, I don't want to like, to me, like, oh, you if you do the raid like 15 times, you'll unlock this particular thing. It's like, I don't want to do the raid 15 times. I just want the thing. I just like, it's like, it's fun once, and then I just don't get anything. So it's like, give me the thing. Like getting the thing will make me happier than getting the experience and like playing with your friend. It's like, I don't want that. Like, and so that is, I think that can be I think I'm the odd man out there, because it's just like, I don't know if I've ever had.
Yeah, you are the weird one that hates friends.
yeah, it's just not what I get out of this game, right? Like, I just love running around in the Crucible, and it's like, if I'm doing well, I'm doing well. If I'm doing poorly, I'm doing poorly. I can be up 1 minute, I can be down the next, I can bounce back. Like, my sense of accomplishment loop in this game is 30 seconds long, and it can be difficult to identify with people who enjoy the build and enjoy looking at it at a longer time frame view of like, I set out to do this. I had to do all these things in order to get here, including like real deal personal improvement and getting better at it. And that's foreign to me, but I have to learn, and I have to learn to not shit on it because I don't personally identify with that. And the reality is, right, like we all still spend a lot of time playing and talking about this one video game. There's no moral high ground here. It's just, So I guess in that regard, I'm happy that I get to play the cool new thing that I probably was. Odds are probably not good. I'm getting a Redrick's Claymore at this point. I don't know.
Maybe I'll use a different ghost in Forsaken. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Switch it up a little bit.
You have a ghost with like a fun, clear hat or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I just say, apropos of nothing, and this is like along the lines of like, oh, I need something to do. Let me just pick something arbitrarily to grind for. I'm grinding for the Season 3 Crucible leg ornament, which is sniping. Not that I'm ever going to wear them or ever use the ornament, but just like, I just figure like might as well as good as anything. And it's like just an excuse to get me sniping. I'm really enjoying sniping right now.
I love saying like, I can't wait for sniping to come back. It's like, it never left. You just stopped using it.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I honestly have not spent much time sniping in D2, period. And it was never really my thing in D1. Like, it's a very low stakes thing. Like, I would never take it into a sweaty situation. I would take Aura Wings in and just make everyone angry at me.
Yeah, but you feed everyone power ammo on the other team, so no one's really that mad.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Or just like, I'll just use a fucking shotgun like everyone else. I like a shotgun. They're fine. They're great. I like them. But like, I have to say, sniping has been interesting, and I've really enjoyed. Like, I can never forget that advice. I think it was from a Crucible bootcamp that Keen did. That was just like, yeah, those like crazy up close, last second panic, no scope trick shots. Like, you just have to start taking them. You just have to start trying for them. Like, if you're getting closed in on and you're going to die and feed them power ammo, you might as well try and get rid of as much power ammo as you can first. Just take those shots. Just no scope them. And you know what? Like, I no scoped a guy the other day. Like, I was on B on Vostok getting closed in on. Sniped one on the left side, sniped one on the right side. I knew I was going to die because they were all coming in. But a guy came into my little room, and I shot him in the body with a sniper rifle, and then I punched him in the fucking face, and it was great. And I got a nice shader on my trial sniper. Yeah,
I just did a whole montage of moments like that, Birds. It's like,
yeah, I saw it. It's great.
Boiled down to the crazy shit that I try to push with a sniper.
Yep. Snipers are pointy slug shotguns, and if you're not using them like that, you're using them wrong.
There's a great clip in there where I use a Darcy. I just literally like grab the power hammer, turn to the right once, and a guy walks up and I shoot him in the head.
All right. Well, we all feel slightly relieved and slightly like, what's the word for when I'm going to say this on the podcast? What's the word for when you're feeling kind of like, it's like a refractory period for anger, right? Like you feel relieved in the moment's past, but we're all cool now. It's yeah. All right. I said that. Okay. Yeah. Probably a good time to end the episode.
Yeah.
All right.
Gonna go good grind for that boys. Emblem. See you guys.
Yeah. Bye. Hey, go to crucibleradio.com and like, hey, check out our new shirts. They're fucking dope. And we're going to have some new stuff coming along in due time, but enjoy these while they last because it won't be forever. Crucibleradio.com. Boom.
Also, support us on the Patreons. Patreon.com/Crucible Radio. We literally just recorded bonus podcasts like this past weekend. It was about our morning routines, and it was nice. Hilarious.
We had a weird morning. That was a weird morning because not only did I do a nightfall, get my armor, I also got the whisper, which I didn't think was ever going to happen. Weird morning.
Show us your support on Patreon, and you get to listen to Birds talk about that weird morning. We also do Patreon nights. We do giveaways, discount codes, the works.
Go check it out. Till next week. Bye-bye. now, you probably know that this is SANDRIDER. Check them out, sandrider.bandcamp.com. Fronted by one and only friend of the show, Mr. John Wisniewski himself. Get on this. If you haven't, now's your chance. Go to Spotify, go to iTunes, check it out, SANDRIDER. And hey, if you are a musician, eventually we're going to be playing some music other than SANDRIDER here, although it's hard to imagine, but you could be next. I want to hear your band. Send us your new album. Please, I want to check it out. It's so easy. Just send an email to crucibleradio@gmail.com.
What's up, everyone? Bones here. Do you like podcasts? Do you like chill conversation? Well, me and my co-hosts Swain and Birds put out a bonus podcast every month on Patreon. If you want to check it out and be a part of more awesome stuff, head over to patreon.com/crucibleradio and join the squad. See you there.